You know, I just spent the past 5 minutes wetting and picking my hair in the sink, and I feel like it really didn't make a difference from how it looked before, but we're making an effort, aren't we? Back in 2021 or 2022, I attempted to go back to college and it was vlogged, and you guys can see the couple of videos that I made around that, and I really like watching people like Izzy Snapshots. She is still making content, and she's been making content for like 8 years for her like whole college journey, and she's been through a lot, and I'm inspired by that. And you guys know I love doing vlogs, so that's what we're doing today. I actually got in the mail, I don't know what I can show without showing anything. This would be the acceptance letter, I believe, to Hudson Valley Community College, which, to be honest, I'm pretty sure if your heart is still pumping and you're able to read, you get into this college. But I'm really excited about going back. And I think in the previous video, we talked a little bit about what my plans were and why I was even interested in going back to school. But I've never sat on camera like Izzy has and looked at this type of stuff. So, and spoiler alert, even though I just said it's an acceptance letter, on the day that I went to go meet with the people, you know, and telling them I was interested in coming back, they basically said, like, that day, oh yeah, great, I'm glad we did all this paperwork and stuff on the computer. You are accepted, by the way, so. But, yeah, okay. Dear Devon, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted for admission at Hudson Valley Community College for the fall 2026 semester, which is very exciting. And okay, so long story short, I am going to school for the nursing program. There are many nursing programs available in like the capital region, but I'm really looking forward to going here just because everything kind of lines up. I was interested in doing the Bellinger School of Nursing, and it was really cool if I went to them for nursing classes specifically, but then I would have to go to a separate college to take the co-requisites. And though that may or may not have been paid for by the SUNY Reconnect program, which is the state of New York colleges or whatever, you know, like the state schools, the community colleges. Right now, there's a Reconnect program from like age 25 to 50, something like that. If you've never had a degree, it's paid for completely by the state of New York, which is awesome. So had I gone to like SCCC, which is the college I first went to as a teenager, as an 18, 19-year-old, you know, I would have had to go to that college and then separately go to the Bellinger School of Nursing. And tuition probably would have been covered for Schenectady, but the tuition would be pricey to go to the Bellinger School of Nursing. And here's one cool thing about that. Had I gone that route with the Bellinger School of Nursing, for every, so they do this tuition kind of like contract thing where if you decide to go to their school on day one, you can sign a contract for every semester that they cover tuition for you. Then you are contracted to work 1 year with the collaborating hospital down there, which is cool. And that's honestly like a great track to immediately start working after you pass your nursing stuff and after you pass the NCLEX. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, it's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. But there's one little thing about that is that you have to go to two separate schools, the college to get the co-requisites and the nursing school. So that's a little bit, you know, not the best. It's fine, honestly, but I didn't really want to deal with that. And also, you don't really have the freedom to leave. Now, of course, I didn't look at the contract, but I'm assuming if it's a contract and you're saying, I'm going to stay here for 1, 2, 3, up to 4 years, because it would be 4 semesters that you'd be doing the nursing school, which would equal out to 4 years if you have them pay for each semester 1 year per, then it's like for the next 4 years, that's where you're going to be. And I don't know. I don't want to get in any like super big commitments right here, right now. That means for the next 6 years, basically, I'd be agreeing to being in that area, which I just don't want to be so locked in. And ultimately, once you get your NCLEX and you've passed nursing school, you do have some flexibility. Of course, I could always go to that hospital that they are partnering with. I mean, they're hiring. I called them a couple of days ago, and they said, "Oh, hey, Devon, I remember you from the hiring event we had, at the beginning of March. Yeah, so we are hiring a multi-skilled tech. I made a video talking about that. If you guys want to go back a couple of videos, you'll see I was talking about that. But I just decided after they didn't choose me, and they just kind of stopped answering, that, you know what, let me rethink this whole working at a hospital thing. How do I want to actually go about it? And that's what brought me eventually to the free nursing school. So I'm excited. I just got some information regarding Wired, which is like the website online portal that Hudson Valley uses. Now, I'm kind of familiar because I've been to Hudson Valley in the past, but this is pretty cool. So we have the paperwork. Of course, I was accepted, and I'm gonna set that over there. Also, I was starting up a game of Pokemon Unite, which I have not played in a while. But this, guys, I love my Switch Lite, and this is a Switch Lite. There's no removable joysticks, Joy-Cons. I really like using this. It's just so convenient, and it's one device. Like, there's no extra things. Of course, I could play with my buddies if I had buddies like that. I have two Bluetooth controllers, like perfectly ergonomic and comfortable controllers. The screen is kind of too small for that, but I do have that option if I want. Sometimes I'll use a controller if I'm playing Fortnite. But yeah, I very much like playing on my Switch Lite. So convenient. Not having to worry about the Joy-Cons and charging and stick drift and all that. Like, no worries. It's great. And it was cheaper, and I bought it used, so. All right, so this came with, wow, okay. Check it out, right? We're doing the proper college experience minus the fact that I'm living at home, which a lot of college students do. We're going to get further into what this next semester is actually going to be like. I didn't do this in the previous vlogs of me going in 2022. I was just kind of like, hey, filming around the campus and stuff. So there's a free bus rides, which is fantastic. Use your student ID to get free buses, and basically it's year round for students taking courses during fall, spring, summer, and intersession. So basically all year round, you get access to the routes and services, including Star Service and Northway Express commuter service. And I don't know what that is, but that's pretty awesome. Comes with, I thought this was a big sticker, but it's not. I guess I'm a Viking now, which is cool. Just a bunch of fast facts on the back. 80 degree and certificate programs, 50 plus student clubs and organizations, which, depending on like how this is going to go, I might actually look into a club or two just so I can participate a little more with the school, instead of just going in for the classes and then feeling like I'm above the college experience, because I'm not. I actually really am interested in having a proper college experience this time without the weed, because that's the only way I'm actually going to pass. So I'm very happy to be sober. I can pass a drug test, guys. That's pretty important. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. There's the enrollment steps checklist, which is great. How to apply for financial aid. Already completed that, to be honest. I did that a couple days ago. And just useful resources, clubs, student support. All those clubs, by the way, is a full list of the 50 clubs, and maybe there's some that are not on the list, which is pretty cool. And just my first folder, which is fantastic. I will use this just for, probably this summer semester. So they said I was accepted for the fall semester, which I already knew. But I was also accepted as a non-matriculated student to come in for spring. I'm going to be going in to take one class, which I believe, I haven't fully decided yet because I have to sit down with my advisor probably on Thursday. We're kind of working our way. I started with end goal of becoming a nurse and blah, 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 and we're kind of working our way back. So on Thursday, I'm going to be going to the college, and is it Thursday? Thursday, going to be taking my placement test, which everyone has to do when they go to this school. You take the placement test, and then from there, they see where your skills are at, and then that will determine how they line up your curriculum or whatever. What classes what they recommend that you take based on your where you're at, math, science, and writing, and all of that, depending on where your skills are. Hence the placement test. So when I take the placement test and I complete that, then I'm going, and it's like 2 hours or something. Then I'm going to talk with my academic plan advisor, and we're going to discuss, is it worth it for me to attempt to take chemistry in the chemistry lab during the summer as a prerequisite for the nursing program, or should I take like A&P, or Anatomy and Physiology 1, AP1, should I take that during the summer? The point is, which is going to be more difficult, and which should I take when I can just focus on one class? Point is, I have to pay for this class during the summer, and because it's not a full set of like classes, then, you know, basically, which I feel like I should have talked to them a little bit more about this as I'm like thinking this through right now. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm actually paying under $1,000 for this one class I'm going to be taking during the summer. But the point is, taking a class to take it off of my load for when I actually start the fall semester. I won't be overwhelmed with, you know, a very tough class along with like a couple of easier classes. I wanted to make sure that my prereq has like the best grade possible. And I really want all of my grades, all of my classes to have the best grades possible, because every time I went to college, I was always attracted by a girl or weed. And the fact that I am dealing with neither, and the fact that I really want to do well this time, I'm just looking forward to starting. So, one thing about going back right now is that I'm actually going back as a blah, 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 blah. The curriculum in which you are a candidate for matriculation is health science. So I already spoke with the admissions people, and I'm going to be going from health science bridging into the nursing program once I complete the prerequisite, and it's just a matter of time. And both health science and nursing both are completely covered by the SUNY Reconnect program, so I have nothing to worry about. I really just have to pay once for the summer for the one class, do my best focus on that, and then I'll be a full-time student in the fall, and I'm very much looking forward to this. I really am. So yeah, it's cool that I'll be able to, I'm in pre-nursing, as some people call it, when you're facing your prerequisites and stuff. So I'm excited. And right now they say I only have the one prerequisite, but I think the admissions lady who I spoke with, I feel like she doesn't exactly, her name was Susie. She's fantastic. I don't know if she was perfectly on the ball with the prerequisites. I don't know if prerequisites are no longer valid after a certain amount of time. She did say I looked pretty young, and I wonder if she was thinking I was actually younger than I was. Like, I just graduated a few years ago from high school, and I did not. We're talking like 12 years ago, so, or something like that. Yeah, so almost 13 years ago. So just, I may have to take more than one prereq, but as far as like she saw from my transcript, everything's fine. So I'm probably just letting anxiety rule my world at the moment. So Susie might be right, and maybe I do just need that one prereq. But once I get started, I think it's like late May is when I'll be starting classes. So I just can't wait to do my placement test this week and actually see what the heck is happening. Now, I think in the previous video, I don't think I talked too much about the nursing program and why I'm even interested in trying to do nursing. I have my brothers who are in the healthcare field, and that's not why I'm trying to do it. It's more so that I have been looking into just different career options. And if you guys remember, back when I was interested in joining the military, even though the Navy, they had said they might want to use me for cybersecurity stuff because that's where my scores were at. The Air Force, which is ultimately what I wanted, the Air National Guard was really what I wanted. That was the base that I visited. I had a lot of chats with the people and all that. They really recommended that I would do aeromedic. And aeromedic was like something that I thought, like, okay, like that's going to be something to really mature me up into something that I've never thought I could be. It's going to pull me out of, this kind of like minimum wage, easy entry mindset, and it's going to give me skills that can really help me help other people. And it's, you do grow when you do jobs like medic and things like that. So I thought it was a great opportunity. And even though I wasn't able to join the military in any form due to my ankylosing spondylitis and the fact that I take a daily pill, it's all good because I can still do that type of work just out in the world. And when I attempted to go to that hiring event in the beginning of March at the local-ish hospital, I just saw it as an opportunity to get into the healthcare field. I was tired of doing Amazon, and I really wanted to change up my life, and for all the same reasons of thinking about being an aeromedic or just joining the military in general. I wanted to do something real and serious, and it was time for me to make a change. So I was really looking forward to doing that, and now I have the opportunity to do it a little bit more properly, at least the way that I'm viewing it. I have the opportunity to do it through maturing and learning and building skills through school. At the end of it, I get to say I have a degree and I'll be a registered nurse, which is crazy, to say. I'll be very happy to know that at the end of this journey, and by the way, that's just like the first step. What am I going to do after I get the RN status? Which specialization am I going to go into? Have I done any research? Yeah, I've looked at like the, travel nursing, and how every video is like, yeah, this was better back in COVID and you missed out on $4,000 weeks and $10,000, whatever. Okay, yes, I missed out. That's fine. But there's still a lot of opportunity there. And maybe I might want to do travel nursing, and travel nursing isn't just like a blanket, like you have to actually still have a specialization and know what you're doing in certain areas so that different agencies, whatever, will know where to put you. So I'm going to spend these next 2.5 years or however long it takes, with prereqs and all that, however long it takes for me to get to that status, and then we'll see. And I think you have to work at a hospital for like a year plus, before you can start doing travel nursing. So there's like I said, there's opportunity there. I've looked beyond travel nursing. I've looked at, what's the benefit after you've gotten your RN as a associate's degree? Is it worth it to go into, the BSN program and checking out the bridged from, what is it, like associates to bachelor's of science in nursing? And then beyond that, is it worth it to go into master's? And I'm still looking, honestly, I think that sounds pretty badass to say that you have a master's degree at all, but to have a master's degree like in something that you can like apply, to your actual life, I think would be really cool, to be honest. So, and then beyond that, I've seen things like CRNA, and the main reason why so many of us have looked into CRNA is because it's just a different type. It's like, the upper echelon of nursing, and they're getting paid, $200,000, whatever it is, and it's a very specialized, very much in high demand degree, which I think you have to be like doctorate level to do it. I heard that there was a change recently. I don't know if it's countrywide or nationwide. I don't know what all the rules and stipulations are around CRNA, but there's just so many options, and I love this because much like there's a lot going on right now, these guys are saving a lot of lives today, which is great. I remember hearing people complain about, sirens driving by and all that, but they're saving people's lives right now, they're doing their job, which is good. Anyway, so there's more research to be had. I'm just really excited to share with you that this is where I'm at in my journey, and I will bring you guys along with me as we trek on this nursing path, and who knows what's going to happen. But this right here is the type of content that I've always wanted to make, and I'm happy, I really am. And there's more stuff I'd like to tell you guys about, give you more updates about my life personally, not just school, but I'll save that for another video. But thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to check out the previous videos, I will leave a link to like the to like a playlist, it's like 3 vlogs or something, but I think it's still worth checking those out if you're interested in just seeing me a little bit younger pursuing God knows what I was even pursuing. I was just happy to be in school. Anyway, but I'll leave those in the description below. So thank you guys again so much for watching.